Our first house nearly never got built. My wife was so bent on helping the builder. Woman, I said, leave that poor man alone and make us some coffee. Not that kind you've been buying either. Instant Maxwell House coffee. Red jar, good to the last drop. Maxwell House. The instant that tastes like coffee. Be a good little Maxwell housewife, and we'll be happy here for a long time.
Maxwell House coffee. Instant and ground.
Doors open this Friday, so come on down to the barbecuer. Oh, shit!
Oh, shit.
That's kind of what
Now,
we
which
got to start
one
off
was real and which one was parody? Sorry, what'd you say, Trey?
Oh, I said that's kind of how our Monday's going to start off here.
No, we got it under control. We're rolling now. What do we want to start out talking about? I guess we could start out with the less than fun stuff, and then we can get into the fun stuff. We can go with the show title. Anybody got anything about all of the latest wildfires? There's the Maui fire. Did y'all see like the YouTube video thing that shows like what looks like a space laser coming down and shooting something? Like the Jewish space laser took out Maui is what happened, and so then you got all these fires, and now.
Well, the Pentagon does admit that they have direct energy weapons here.
I remember when they were working on these things a few years ago.
They have weaponized space through killer satellites, directed energy weapons, and more in an effort to exploit our systems and chip away at our military advantage.
Directed energy weapons, also known as DEWs, are weapons that deploy a highly focused energy beam.
Lasers.
Dude. I just love this dude because it's like they're gonna do something like do the do. like Mountain Dew.
Lasers, microwaves, and particle beams. After decades of research in the United States, defense contractors announced back in 2015 that these systems are expected to come online by 2020, and are currently announcing that they are ready to deploy in the field. Russia, China, India, and the UK are developing directed energy weapons as well. And Iran has had them in use since at least 2013. In 2019, Turkey was the first to officially deploy this technology in combat when they claimed to have shot down a Chinese-made drone supplied to the Libyan National Army.
See, my biggest thing is like when is this coming to civilians? Like, or,
when can I pick one up?
Yeah, like where do I get this? Like, is this?
I could find agricultural uses for that.
Yeah, hell yeah! You could do all kinds of stuff,
From castrations to I don't know what else.
I remember several years ago when they were working on these things, and like there were pictures of them, and basically like they were so big they had to be like loaded onto a flatbed trailer.
Where they used to start the fire.
Is it overkill or unnecessary to use something like that to start a fire? I feel like irresponsible teenagers have been doing it just fine for years.
Well, I mean, you can get a flamethrower. So I mean, I literally there. I wanted to get one so bad, but I was like, man, this is like $600. I don't know.
I thought
it'd be a fun weekend though.
I told Stephanie that's what I wanted for my birthday a couple years ago, and she wouldn't get it for me. She's a bad wife. She really loved me. She'd give me a flamethrower.
That should be like the like relationship wedge there. Like, if you really love me, you'll get me a flamethrower.
Yeah.
But speaking about the fires. So
well,
I mean,
I was like talking about
it's one conspiracy
teenagers.
or another.
Talking about how teenagers have been doing a fine job of setting setting things on fire. If you're going to set an entire island on fire, I mean, you might need to step up your game. A giant space laser might be necessary. I don't know. I've never tried to set a whole island on fire. Mostly, I just set my backyard on fire.
Maui seems pretty moist. Seems like it would be hard to just burn down.
Yeah, the laser might have been necessary.
It is an island.
It's like when you got like a
Surrounded
brush
by
pile that
water.
you need to burn, and it's been raining for the past few days. And
It's like
so
you
you're
gotta
trying
throw
to
some
you're trying to get it
oil.
started. So yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta throw a little like lighter fluid on there and really get it, kind of prep it and get it going before it really takes off burning. That's the necessity of the laser. It just removes the need for lighter fluid.
Yeah, lots of magnifying glass
Wow.
fires.
I never did that because
Um,
I always had ladders.
Yeah, we always had either lighters or matches.
I did
sort of
do
had access to
I did
those,
do
but I
the
wasn't
magnifying
supposed
glass on an ant kind of thing, like try to. It was funny to do that kind of stuff. Do the magnifying glass over the ant and like make them squirm.
Glad Steven's back. I thought he might have abandoned us. I feel like I haven't seen him around lately.
He's been doing a bunch of farmers markets in black neighborhoods and not selling coffee.
Work. Yeah. Like a good man.
No,
No, I mean,
he's
wasting
finding
my
out
time
what his
kicking around with you fuckers.
target audience is, and apparently it's not the darker communities.
Even though he's got a dark roast,
Oh,
I
well.
mean, come on. Like,
Yeah. I think you go hand in hand.
You would think. You
Make a
really,
purple drink
Stephen. You
joke
really
here.
should have been. You really should have been pushing that. You should have been like, "Ooh, dark roast," and like get him, like hook him in, and be like, special brew
Look,
just for
we
you.
got the darkest roast you can imagine. Like,
I've actually had what I might describe as a surprising percentage of my customers for my fancy, expensive farm products be people of color. For sure. Definitely some unsuspecting
Yourself
people.
chicken?
Yeah. But my chicken also costs like 3 times what it does in the grocery store. So, if they're a real connoisseur, you guys can't see me when I'm doing the Italian finger thing. Mwah.
yeah.
If they're a
Does
real
your
chicken
chicken come with-
connoisseur.
Does your chicken come with like washing instructions for the proper way to wash it? Or
No, I have a generic like safety instructions label, but I don't think it actually says to wash it. I think it just says like cook to internal temperature, blah blah blah. Whatever I'm legally supposed to put on the packaging, that's what it says. I haven't even read it. I don't care. Technically, it's supposed to be a bigger plaque, but I don't give a shit. It's on there. If you don't know how to handle chicken, you shouldn't be buying it from me. I don't want to sell it to you. If it's like being like a gun dealer, whatever. Like you want to sell guns, but you also just don't want to sell guns to people who are going to be ridiculously responsible, right? Like a responsible gun store isn't going to sell a gun to just anybody. So if you can't be trusted with my chicken products, I don't want to sell them to you. It's for the general safety of everybody.
They'll point that chicken at just anybody.
Yeah.
so anyway, about the
Yeah.
fires.
But-
Did you see? There's somewhere else is on fire now, and there are more Canadian wildfires starting up somewhere up in northern Canada. So expect more smoke that doesn't look like smoke. It looks like some sort of a toxic haze.
See, that came all the way down here from those fires, which was crazy because I was like, well, that had to travel like thousands of miles. Like,
Did you like immediately after you got the Canadian smoke, then you get like these just crazy bad storms, like a lot of wind and lightning, and seems kind of odd, right?
Yeah.
It's always a perfect storm of, not to use a pun, but that's sort of the term, but like a perfect storm of different things going wrong that just makes this stuff so bad. Yeah, Murphy's Law exists, but you're right, man. It just seems too common. You can just call it,
that's like a large portion of what caused a lot of the California wildfires over the years has been the completely shitty mismanagement by the forest department in California.
Controlled burns. Like they don't do controlled burns. Like,
they don't do anything. They don't do anything right. Like they actively subvert the way nature works. And then when everything just like goes up in flames, they can't believe it. Like, oh, we did all this conservation
wow, there's a lot of
stuff.
dried wood, and then all of a sudden, there's all this, dried up forestation and dried wood. It's
We've been doing all this conservation stuff to protect the forest. Why is it on fire now? Because you didn't allow nature to do the things that nature does. Like, the whole ecosystem works a certain way, and usually it works better without government interference, much like, literally everything else on the planet.
Now, granted, they do have a bad problem with arsonists. So, I mean, that arsonist and a mismanagement of the forest system kind of doesn't go well together. So,
That bear needs to step up his game. He used to just warn people. He needs to start mauling people who don't practice good fire safety.
I feel like I've seen like a parody bit that was kind of like that. Like,
there's got to be.
There's got to be.
Like, one thing you guys got to learn about me: if I say something funny, you can guarantee it's not original to me. That's
Saw it somewhere.
Saw it somewhere. It might be bedded down deep in there subconsciously, and I think it's my idea, but it's probably not. I'm not clever at all. I'm just good at recalling things that other people have said that are funny. Cocaine Smokey the Bear. Did you guys see Cocaine Bear?
No,
I never did. I feel like it's got to be coming out on like.
It's on streaming now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's got to be coming out on some streaming platform here sometime soon.
Oh, did we talk about the mayor of Tampa when she went fishing?
No.
Oh, okay, I'll pull it up. We sort of talked about something similar. Now, okay, you guys tell me, is this op or not? Because I always feel like stuff like this might be an op. But, so, this is the mayor of Tampa, and she went fishing and apparently reeled in over $1 million worth of blocaine.
Yeah, I feel like that's an op.
We talked about how much of it is supposedly washing up down there in the Keys and everything. And right now it's lobster season, so everyone's going down there lobstering. And apparently that's what she was doing and reeled it in. But I'm just like, man, it's just too perfect, right? That it's her.
And she reeled it in, like.
Oh yeah.
Was she was she like recently elected, like in 2022 or something?
No, I don't think so. I think she's been there a few years. She used to be the police chief in Tampa, if I'm not mistaken.
That was about to be my next question: is did she have some sort of a extra police agenda?
Yeah. She, I think she used to be the chief. She was on a fishing trip with her family last month when her younger brother saw something in the water. As the family boat got closer to the piece of debris, Castor, who previously served as Tampa's police chief, realized the object was something fishy. Oh, I thought it was shade as opposed to something shady, she jokingly told reporters this week. But the closer we got, I was like, whew, that would be a bale of cocaine. 70 pounds. Had pictures of purple butterflies. And they turned it into 2 federal agents, allegedly.
Is the purple butterflies like some sort of insignia of a specific gang that they're trying to target?
It must be. Yeah. She was Republican for 3 decades until 2015.
The agents like throw it out there right before, like as she's on, like getting on the boat or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, whoops, look what I caught.
She's the first openly gay mayor. I didn't realize she. Well, I guess it makes sense. She was a cop. She'd be a gay beau.
Wait, what? Like, first openly?
I mean, maybe in Tampa.
Booty judge.
Maybe in Tampa. Yeah.
Oh, in Tampa,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's what they're
Is
talking
that-
about.
See,
Is
they
that
have
the
to do
only
that.
way-
They have to do first in Tampa because they can't. There's always got to be a first, you know. Like that's how they got to do it.
She was elected in 2019 and re-elected this year, Justin.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so maybe she does have an agenda for her second term to start pushing a little more.
Like this
police
fentanyl
brutality.
shit, I don't buy a lot of the narrative around the fentanyl. You know what I mean? And it's of course who benefits from there being, a lot of threat from dangerous drugs out there. Every government agency or anybody who has an agenda to push, you can find some way to tune that in. Like the fentanyl, like being in like pills, like that totally makes sense to me. But it's like it's in the cocaine and it's in this and that, and I've heard but haven't confirmed that. How could I confirm? But from what I've read, like the cartel has begun dyeing their fentanyl green so that you can't put it in drugs without the person knowing, because they're like, we don't want to kill our fucking customers, like, so like you find green meth or like green pills that aren't supposed to be green, there's fentanyl in it,
Right. The only industry that can get away with killing their customers is the pharmaceutical industry, the legal drugs.
Yeah, the U.S. drug cartel. Yeah.
Now you mentioned that this is the first openly gay Tampa mayor, and that she was a former cop, so it makes sense. Are there only two directions that the cops can go? Like a female cop can go. That is either they're a full on dyke or they bang the entire force.
Did we talk
Gotta
about?
be
I think it was.
Butch, or you gotta be, like the what? It's not like Barracks Bunny, like it would be for what would be like it's like a squad bunny. Like.
There was okay. I don't know if we talked about this. We might have, but since we're talking about Tampa female police chiefs, our recent one got. I guess she resigned. Did we talk about this one? She got pulled over on their golf cart, and she's like, "Oh, it's cool. I'm a cop." Let's see if my internet will let it happen.
Right, Tampa's police chief has been placed on leave after she was accused of flashing her badge and asking to be let go during a traffic stop. The sheriff's office says that Chief Mary O'Connor and her husband were pulled over while riding a golf cart on a road. CNN's Layla Santiago is following the developments here. Layla, what's happening?
Well, Frederica, as you mentioned, O'Connor now on administrative leave, and it was after this body cam footage revealed that she was pulled over during a traffic stop, and yes, asked the deputy or told the deputy that she was hoping he could let this go. Now, this happened about 3 weeks ago.
What's the like? I guess what's the charge here? Like, what would she be? I mean,
using.
Like it says, we were driving golf carts people drive golf carts all the time down our roads. So I don't know what. Is this some specific locality?
Yeah,
thing?
so here there are specific there'll be towns that you're definitely allowed to drive golf carts, but they'll even have certain roads that they'll say, okay, no golf carts, on this road or crossing here. They'll have certain places you have to cross, so it just varies a lot. If you're in they're like in St. Pete or something here. If you're just driving around the city in a golf cart, depending on where you're at, they might have a problem with you. But
I don't see it being a huge deal. But
you can still get a drunken disorderly or a DUI on a golf cart. We've had
anything
guys,
that steers. You can get a DUI on a skateboard. Yeah,
we've had guys back home where I'm from get DUIs on lawnmowers riding through town. It happens.
Yeah, I think like he's saying here, there's some places that just let you drive them without whatever. Some places it might make you get a tag for it or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
So it just depends. A small town here by us, one of them, they do the golf carts, but it is when you get up to the main road, there's signs that say no golf carts, beyond this point or whatever. So back in the nice little old timey town community, oh yeah, cruise around in your golf carts, have a good time. Now, on my dirt road here that I live on, 7-year-old takes the golf cart a mile down the road to pick up his brothers and sisters, at the bus stop.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, you know what I mean? And I don't think the cops would have a problem with it, if they happened by, they might say go home and tell the parents to, hey, don't let them do that. But, it's a big difference from middle of a city or something.
Still,
I
I
don't know who the new
don't
police
see
chief
like
is.
why there would be like a hate moment for that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, I mean, as long as they're not doing, like, as long as you're not doing other stuff. I mean, yeah, I guess the drunk, like, if you're swerving all
Yeah.
over and about to hit people, yeah, I mean,
And I was just the issue here is that she's a police chief saying, "Hey, I'm a fucking cop. Let me go.
Yeah.
You know, treat me differently on camera like a dummy." And they kind of look like they've been drinking a little bit. What the fuck else you doing out at night on your golf cart? You know what I mean?
well, let's see. If it's a golf cart, yeah, I could see. But like if it was like a 4x4 or something like that, some kind of, like
Side by side.
Yeah, side by side. Yeah.
Blowing down the road at 90 on a Polaris.
Wonder if she drinks like this. Wife material right there.
Wax your throat and make eye contact.
Is that even real?
She doesn't. She clearly doesn't have.
That almost looks sped up, doesn't it? Some people are good at that
she-
shit, though, man.
Does she even swallow? She just like pour it straight down her throat. Look, I don't know. How does that even physically work? Craziness.
It's like the guy, the Fox, the guy on the Man Show back in the day. Remember, he played the piano and sang the dirty songs, and he'd just like pound like the 2 or 3 beers in a row. You know, I think he was like a world record holder or something for chugging beer, and he died of cirrhosis. Go figure.
Imagine that.
Yeah, but he probably lived a hell of a life. Surprisingly thin for someone who drinks that much beer.
See, I would have thought liver cancer
Look.
or cirrhosis.
Yeah, that's. Hey, I can't pronounce things. All right.
Oh, so that's what you were trying to say. Okay.
I said cirrhosis. Yeah, sorry.
I was like, is that something else? Oh my god. Well,
see, now that makes me feel like I need to challenge myself. Like I need to go get a nice big stein and just see how fast I can knock it out.
You know, we're having our next night show here at some point. We could always do a chugging contest.
Oh hell!
Oh my
a
god.
chugging
I'll
contest
lose.
in the middle of our
just gonna say
draft. That
Yeah.
yes, that's what we need to do. A chugging contest during the draft. Anytime somebody's draft clock drops below 30 seconds, they have to drink. Speed up the process a little bit. Be like, either you're making your decision or you're getting drunk. Like, better think on your feet. Ooh, I like that
Speaking
idea.
of thinking on your feet, the
Yeah,
plain
shit.
lady.
The plain lady.
Me, Tiffany Gomez, probably better known as the Crazy Plain Lady, which is completely warranted. As you know, I
love how
Poor
she
thing.
posted this on her own like Twitter, but then like TMZ had to like tag this to claim it.
have been unwilling to
Pardon?
speak on the viral
Yeah.
video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were
It's a lot more
completely
Hispanic here than in the other
unacceptable.
video.
Distressed or not, I should have
The other video, she kind of looked orange. She looked like she had like the Trump spray tan kind of look.
What's going on here,
been-
Carlos?
I should
Pop
have been in
in.
control of my emotions, and that was not
Yeah. Carlos, tell us if she does she look like she has Latina in her blood?
the case.
Yeah. Now, what's going on? Is this the
The use
real
of
woman?
profanity was completely unnecessary, and I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard. Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened.
Look, if you don't
We
fly
all
on an
have our
airplane loaded
bad
full of
moments,
Xanax, weed edibles, I don't
Some
wanna know ya.
far worse than others, and mine happened to be caught on camera for the whole world to see multiple times. Sorry, trying not to sound like Minnie Mouse. Well, it has been.
I mean, she basically just apologizes. She says like, "Hey, I take responsibility." I was like, "What is?" I mean, like, I get she had the episode, but I mean, like, I get that she inconvenienced a lot of people by the the plane, like, but I don't know what all the like she's like groveling. That's like, I would be like, hey, sorry, my bad. Like, hey, I screwed up. Maybe I was tripping out a little bit.
You see, like Steven says, this is AI, and I think it is too. Like, remember, so Damar Hamlin, Jamie Foxx, now this chick, like all the people that like.
They come back looking different.
They come back looking a little bit different for one, but also like
now. Granted, this is
the
like,
background, but also
like
the background. Like, look at the background. It's always like this completely just like
white,
blank. Yeah, it's like a blank slate background. Like we've got bookshelves and chairs and radios and shit in our background. Like every normal human being has things in the background. Like every time one of these people has one of these things where they're coming out and doing their apology video or their comeback video or their explanation video, like. There's never anything in the background. It's always just like this perfect white or gray or black surface. Like,
yeah, I mean, even the Neo, like his statement about the whole like his controversy or whatever, he didn't. I mean, granted, he's like still alive or whatever, but like he didn't have to do the whole white background, or whatever, the empty background video. He just did it in the car. Like, he's just talking like, hey.
Yeah, do it like a boomer.
Yeah, like be in the car.
Yelling from your front seat of your truck.
Yeah, I mean, that's make it at least seem somewhat realistic. But the AI can't put together a realistic background like this. They haven't figured that part out yet. It's got to be something that's like really generic or static.
No, I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess it would make sense with her looking funny. AI always looks like they're heavily make-upped.
Well, you know what's probably not AI?
This.
Well, maybe Michelle's.
Yeah, maybe Michelle's vagina.
Well, if you can call it that. Barack Obama told X, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination, let her show.
Okay.
I just think it's funny that Obama dated a white chick in college.
When did he write this letter? Was this back in college?
Yeah, back in his college days. That's what I was saying.
He wrote it. He wrote the letter in November of 1982.
Yeah. I must say, the attempt to remove oneself from the president refusal. Well, I don't. This is weird. Like the language here. See, I mean.
Hey man, we've all said some crazy things on drugs. It was 82. You can't hold somebody responsible for what they say in college in 82. Oh man.
My mind is androgynous to a great extent. And I hope to make it more so until I think some term people and not women. Is that okay? See that I've been made a man and physically laugh at you. That is such a weird statement. I mean, regardless of drugs or not, like it's just such a like. I've seen that I've been made a man, and I choose to accept that. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying, Barry. I'm trying to have your back here, dude.
Can we get some?
Hey, look now! Come on! Hey.
Can we get somebody like a forensics expert to analyze the handwriting and make sure that it's actually his? This isn't some other Barry.
There's another Barry Obama out there somewhere that's just like hitting up dudes and.
They've been piling on with the Michael stuff lately, haven't they? Has there been an increase in that, or is it just me?
Well, I feel like they keep on circulating him every now and then just to make sure people remember he exists.
It could very possibly be both that it's circulating heavily and it's just you, because I'm pretty sure you follow like all 8 of my burners, and anytime that starts to circulate, I just keep posting it over and over again on all of them. So
it's just you that I'm seeing.
It's just be me. It's not necessarily a thing. It's just a thing that you keep seeing because
every time you share, you see it, you share it.
This is why I stay off of Twitter.
And then I forget which one of my accounts I'm logged into. So then I start liking and sharing stuff, and I forget that's actually me. That's not somebody else. That's not Six Stickly.
I like this post that actually is like pretty spicy, and then it's not Six Stickly. Like maybe we should murder these people, and then you press like, and you're like, oh crap, that's on my actual account, not Six Stickly.
Who am I following?
I really do be losing track of which account I'm signed into. I had to remove the I used to be the social media director for Indiana's 8th District Libertarian Party, and I had that on my phone for a long time, and I had to just remove it from my phone because I kept accidentally logging into it, and then I would type something out, and I'd get ready to hit tweet, and then I'd be like, oh shit, that's the wrong account. I cannot say that as the official position of the I would have made the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire look tame with some of the stuff I would type out. And oh no, that's not good. Don't do that. This is why I also don't run the Facebook page anymore for that. After the second suspension, they're like, maybe somebody else should run this thing. Like, you are probably right. I told y'all this was not a good idea.
I'm still a banning or a getting a post removed or something virgin. Can you believe it? Now, if the only caveat I'd say is I go through Facebook memories and none of them are there anymore. All of them have been removed, but I've never gotten a strike or anything. I'm sure whoever originally posted it, and I just shared it.
Well, if you would like somebody to pop your cherry, just give me your login information. I'll take care
of it. Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
See, I have gotten one post that they reviewed, but I've never gotten a post taken down. It was it was just hey, are you sure you want to post this kind of thing? Because this is kind of, and
I think I've had that for cursing.
I've had the fact check thing. Yeah. Because I posted something on Facebook, and then they had to do the fact check thing because it's oh, this isn't factually correct.
I think
I might have a post had that on it or something too. Yeah, that's possible.
I think I've only had 3 Twitter suspensions, none of them more than 48 hours. I know at one point on Facebook,
you've said way more spicy stuff than I would like. Actually, it's funny. You said more spicy stuff than some of the people who actually get completely indefinitely suspended. Which I'm like, that's hilarious. I think part of it's your follower group though. You don't have the crazy people following you or just the hate follow you.
It doesn't get enough traction. Yeah, that helps. Now on Facebook, at one point, I would basically come off of a 2-week suspension, post one thing, and then return to another 2-week suspension. I lived in 2-week suspension infinitum on Facebook for about 6 months, and I finally dug myself out of the basement. Now I only get a 24-hour suspension once a month or so. I'm doing all right.
I'm not sure which statement SDG is referring to, but yeah, it does sound apt. Yeah, it does sound apt.
Oh man, I feel like nothing exciting happened this weekend.
I know it was kind of a more or less a dull weekend.
Did you guys do anything fun on a personal level?
I worked, and it was a very slow weekend, so I spent my entire weekend just having fun with my dentist account.
Are you the person is there some lady who's supposedly running Twitter now, or a new CEO to Twitter? Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
What is that? She's like, Twitter's changed and I'm going to change it back or something. Is that real?
She is saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the troll. But the lady is talking about the actual CEO lady. Is talking about, it's freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. We're going to limit people's reach if they post, mean tweets, essentially. If we're not going to allow it. But they're still banning people. So I feel like she's full of herself. Because Because it doesn't, like, a lot of people are still getting banned and stuff, even though I don't know what's going on, but I think it's a joke. It's kind of how I thought it would happen. Is Twitter, or X, as Elon Musk is now calling it? It's gonna be the same crap. It's just gonna same bull crap that happens like that. It's just gonna be a little bit different in the way it's applied, I guess.
You guys want to see Britney Spears pole dance?
Oh my god.
No, but if I have to, I mean, yes, 20 years ago.
Yeah. You know.
Well, let's see. Hold on. I'm curious. I haven't seen it yet. How do we have sound? There we go. You let me desecrate you. Did you guys watch any of
the eyes are what kill it for me. Like the bags and I don't know what kind of makeup she's got going on. Like,
yeah, there's something missing back there, man. Behind them, their eyes. Poor thing. I didn't watch any of the documentary stuff with like her ordeal, like her dad. And but yeah, oh yeah, the house explosion. That's something we can talk about. Let me pull that up. But I've seen like some like Instagram stuff and some clips of her just like existing and talking, and I'm like, oh man, that's sad. That's sad. But I don't know what all went on with her. If she's just crazy, or if they're. I mean, I think if you're a child star, you probably had some fucked up shit happen to you one way or another, right?
This is the equivalent of what happens when you let Britney pole dance.
That would have been a high school me hearing there was a Britney Spears pole dance video. That would have happened inside of my pants. But unfortunately, that wasn't it wasn't that satisfying. Oh shit!
See, we had that happen around here not too long ago. A house blew up that had like an elderly couple living in it, and both of them died. And it was something.
Usually,
it was something that the power company. It was something that the power company did. They were like trying to change over a gas line or something, and it something backfired through the line that they were swapping, like that they were changing. Something like backfired through the line and just happened to blow this house up. And then a couple months later, it happened again, but like luckily it happened at a house that like nobody was there, but still blew up a second house. And like usually out here, because we live rurally enough, if a house blows up like that, it's just meth.
That's always
it's like
assumption.
It's not like a catastrophic effect like affecting other people. Yeah.
Do we know
natural gas fireplace at our old house, and I was always paranoid something like that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean it's always possible,
all you need is a leak, like a little bit of a leak, and then you open a flame in the right area, and it's just going to travel back up, and that's kind of what happens a lot of times. It's like you have a gas leak, and people don't know that there's a gas leak for whatever reason. I don't know how you couldn't know that there was a gas leak, because every time I've ever known there to be a little bit of a gas leak, it's always a horrible smell. Like you can really smell it. But,
yeah, they put the smell in. They add that smell, for that reason. Yeah. I mean, there is actually drug related, but I was talking to somebody who makes concentrates like from weed. Okay, and I don't know how they do it these days. This was decades ago, but you used to do it with butane. And you have to be really careful when you do it because people don't realize that the butane, it's like it lets off like a flammable gas, and using it in liquid form, like it's very cold, but it lets off a gas, and that gas sticks to the floor. It falls. It's heavy. And dude was like, yeah, we were making it on the kitchen table, and whatever, something sparked it, and like the whole floor like caught on fire. He's like, yeah, we had like they ended up not burning the house down. They managed to get it under control. Like open the door and like shoo it out the door. Basically,
lava.
Yeah, I mean, and it was like the floor didn't really catch on fire, but it was this layer of gas, and they had to like get it out of the house kind of and let it burn itself out, and then it's just pouring out of these jars that they were making this stuff in. And it's like, yeah, man, you really gotta be careful and do that shit outdoors, and not use like flames. And if like you're watching some like the instructional videos that used to be out for this, you have to like cook off like the alcohol and the butane with a heat source, and they're like, do not use an open flame heat source, do not use like a propane thing or whatever. You have to use like an electric stove or
use a
or
torch,
an induction. Yeah. Like you will burn your house down if it is flammable gases coming off of this. So it fucking happens, dude. A lot of people are just careless, man. My mom, when she was very young, like 4, her and her brother burned down their family home playing with matches. And so I've always like really, since I was very young, really had fire safety drilled into me, for, obvious reasons. But it is, man, it's crazy. The house I grew up in, the people who bought it after me, after we moved out, who bought it, they burned it down. They were fucking chain smokers. The dude ended up getting 3rd-degree burns trying to get his big screen TV out of the house. And this was back in, the 90s when a big screen TV, like you needed a fucking pallet jack to move. But he ended up getting really badly burned trying to save the TV. But it was a wooden house, that motherfucker went up. So I don't know. Sucks. It happened. I heard a tale that that house was a January 6th person, and that was the energy weapon blowing it up. Was that Dennis too?
That
See, this is why Justin gets on the internet, just to like make all these like insane like troll posts, like parody posts, and then that way it gets you down. Like he's trying to trick you. That's what
I
all
don't believe anything ever anywhere.
Yeah, it's the internet, right? Yep. Preferred. Preferred pronouns in bio. See, there we go. Like make it. That way. Oh wait, what was it? The trans people with doctor, like. So you had to
trans folks with a doctor's consent will be able to manually input any preferred pronoun.
so regular people can't just put attack helicopter, but that would be fun.
Yeah, you gotta have a doctor's note for that.
That'd be funny.
Any holdouts will be banned. Oh shit.
This was the best. This was the best one of the weekend, though. At least in my opinion, it was the best one. It was the one that I had the most fun with.
Was it your done one? Oh, that one probably got a lot of people because this is circulating. Donald Trump didn't actually say this. This was a troll post from somebody else, and basically Justin took that troll post and then put it here and added that from the actual CEO.
No, I'm not Linda.
Yeah.
Linda's a lot of people. She's owned by the whole village.
She gets around.
Yeah, she gets around.
Here's the one Dag was talking about.
It's like a doorknob. Everybody gets a turn.
This is just what happened during the most recent Dennis weekend episode today. There you go. This is the one that Dag was talking about. The U.S. military has begun drone striking the homes of people.
Yeah, Liz Cheney. That's right. That's right. I remember thinking that was hilarious. Oh my god. Hey man, it all comes around. We were talking about energy weapons. They're
right.
See, what if they that is the plan? They want to like specifically target you at your home. And be able to, okay, we have small enough drones now that we can hit one house and it not impact the other houses. So here we go. We're just gonna, if you dissent against the government, Joe Biden did mention, like you even if you had F-15s, you couldn't challenge the military. So I wonder if this was his point. Like, this is what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They can always. I mean, you look at some low life like me. If my house just exploded, it'd be a pretty easy sell that it was a fucking drug lab. Not saying that's the case. That's not the case. But I'm just saying, it wouldn't take much spin.
Like, yeah, some hillbilly they cooked up the meth, too much, and then all
or
of
the
a sudden,
still. It doesn't even have to be meth.
Still. Sure.
Yeah. Could have been a still gone awry. That
you shining, you were shining. You oh, them shiners, they
like the Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Well, see, he's not in the mountains, so mine would be the Mountain Dew.
Have you guys seen those pictures from Cursed AI floating around? I've seen it shared a lot, but it's like an AI generated art thing, but it's a Appalachian people, pardon me, harvesting Mountain Dew, and it's like they're out there. You see them with the green like springs and shit. There's some of that AI art I fucking love, dude. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's great because it literally looks like they're like tapping the sap of like a tree to get the Mountain Dew and stuff like that.
Looks like they're harvesting slurm.
Yes, slurm.
Yes.
Slurms, Mackenzie. Oh shit. I've been watching some Futurama lately, trying to catch up a little bit for the new ones that are coming out or have come out. I don't know.
Yeah, they got a new season coming up, just like King of the Hill.
Oh yeah, didn't Rusty Shackelford die? That sucks. Is that going to put a damper on the new series, or?
I think they've already recorded, so I don't know. We'll see. I know what's her face passed away years ago, so there's not going to be
Brittany Murphy. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah, no Luann. Well, that's a bummer.
See, and like this is where like one of the cool things about the AI, even though like people think it's like really bad or whatever, I do think it would be cool to like have, if you have like a really memorable voice actor for a specific character, and they could sell the rights or whatever to be for them of their voice to be able to be used with AI, and then that way. If you have that character appear in something else that the studios could use that for that kind of stuff. It is a little bit weird, but I mean, it would kind of continue the same continuity of the character. Like unless you just wanted to like, okay, well, let's do a recast. But if it's something like iconic, like certain characters that are just iconic, it's like this person's voice is that character. Like I wouldn't want to. Change that too much.
It'd be a nice, like, in a contract just to have like, okay, if you die halfway through us making this, then we get, then we can finish it, because it's like, I mean, how many movies, one of the most recent examples, I watched this recently, when John Candy died making Wagons East, and they had to use like stunt doubles and clever editing and this and that to make the movie. And what Heath Ledger didn't that happen to during Batman or something? Was that him?
I mean, I think they finished recording before.
I think they were done with
but
Batman,
just instances like
that. I think they had a
like,
couple more scenes that they didn't get to record with him, but I mean, they were able to salvage enough.
Brandon Lee and The Crow, they still had like 2 scenes that had to be recorded. They didn't. I don't think they had. Or I think the speaking parts had already been recorded. Because they were going to be like heavily edited shots, so they had all of the vocal part of it done. They just had to shoot it, so they were able to use the stunt double, and they just like you can tell the 2 scenes that it was because they keep him like his face in the shadows, or you can't actually see his face.
SCG the CG though is CG is pretty bad. Like them trying to CG anybody. Like after they died is usually pretty bad, but the voice AIs. I don't know if you've heard the voice AIs because I sent you guys this stuff where like they have like the presidents playing video games or whatever. Those are actually really really good now. Like the you can mimic anybody's voice really well if you give it the right like samples to work with. So
the interesting thing about the John Candy one, the guy that I coached baseball with whenever I was in college, his older brother was a John Candy like fill-in. He like dead on looks just like John Candy, and he had just gotten signed to like start doing a lot of like John Candy's appearances. And then John Candy goes and fucking dies. So like he got to participate in finishing out the movie, but then like he didn't have a job anymore after that.
I feel like there was one guy that was circulating on like on YouTube that he was or something like that, like that he was doing like a John Candy impression. I feel like there was a guy that was doing that like not too long ago, like a few years ago.
Snoop Dogg did some bad movies where it's like his head CGI'd onto somebody else's body, because he came for like one day to record like his stuff, you know, and it was just a lot of like B-roll of him like looking around corners and shit, you know, all coy like he does, and then they just sort of made like 3 terrible movies with the footage. I don't know what they are. I was trying to find them, but they're out there. I'll come up with them. I enjoy lazy filmmaking.
It's entertaining. It's like, this should really be better, but it's not, and I love it because it's not. Like I have a certain appreciation for deliberately making something bad. Like the ones that they tried to do a good job and it comes out bad, like She-Hulk, like that's disappointing. But when they make it deliberately bad, like I love that shit.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the movie Black Dynamite. Like they make edit errors and stuff like that on purpose. You know, I just find it funny. It's a spoof movie. If you guys have ever seen it, I love it.
Yeah, bad movies that don't take themselves, that know they're a bad movie, they're good. Yeah, it's when somebody tries to be too serious. It's like, dude, come on, you're in a bad movie here. Have fun with it.
Speaking of, did we talk about the Barbie movie on Friday?
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil it for me.
Oh, never mind. We won't talk about it.
You can talk about it. I'm just kidding.
I
saw it 4 times. No.
To not spoil it for anybody, I'll just leave it at this. The
something Longhouse.
The Ken battle scene, like the War of the Kens, was the greatest, the most epic battle of all movie cinema history. Fuck Braveheart or like the All Quiet on the Western Front. Like nothing on this. Like the Battle of the Kens was incredible.
Now I really feel like I have to see the movie now.
I think you should.
It wasn't the white Ken doll versus the black Ken doll, was it? Because if it was, I think I know who won.
It was actually the white Ken doll versus the Asian Ken doll.
Oh, then that's a toss-up. Sometimes Asian Ken dolls, when they're cornered, are known to kick with their legs. So you gotta be careful.
Everybody puts Asian Ken in the corner.
It was pretty impressive. We got anything else on the docket for today?
I ain't got shit. I'm just happy to have been here today, and my internet held out okay.
Mine's barely hanging on.
I'm glad the storm let up a little bit before we started. For everybody who doesn't know how the sausage is made on this, before we started, we were like literally a minute and a half before we started the show, we were kicking around whether or not to cancel it because nobody could get their internet to work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everybody.
If only the loyal watchers knew the conversations we have and how we're on the brink of ending it every single day, but then somehow we still manage to show up and power through. Is it because we're so dedicated, or are we just a bunch of retards?
Because democracy basically means government by the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.